Artificial intelligence is here, and at first it scared me a lot, but the more I've learned about it, I've realized that I can use it and you can use it to your benefit. In this video, I'm going to go over the top 3 genius ways real estate investors are using ChatGPT to their benefit.
We talking about freedom?
Don't hide your head in the sand, get your head out of the sand, and let's take advantage of this technology disruption to use it for our favor so we can create wealth together. So I have thousands of students that I've helped start real estate investing and creating wealth on the side while they have full-time jobs. I've created systems and processes so that you can use your limited spare time wisely and create financial freedom so that eventually you have unlimited spare time. And ChatGPT and AI technology is going to help shorten that learning curve even more. As a real estate investor, I understand the importance of having accurate, up-to-date data. The better data you have, the more quickly you can make informed decisions. So without further ado, let's dive into the 3 genius ways that real estate investors are using ChatGPT. So the first thing I want to look at with ChatGPT is market analysis. When you're analyzing the market, there are so many different sources and places you have to go, from county tax records to Zillow to the MLS. There's just so many places that you get data. So ChatGPT, along with AI technology, is utilizing computer technology to streamline that. So you can go to one place and it will do all the sourcing itself, and then it will find that data and give it to you to help you be more streamlined and more efficient. That's the whole point of this. The first question is going to be, what is the average rental rate for a 3-bed, 2-bath in a certain zip code? I picked a zip code that I'm very familiar with. It's actually just the zip code right next door that I own quite a few rental properties in. And ChatGPT is telling me, according to Zillow, so they're citing their sources, and they are talking about 2021, so I do not love that. Markets change and shift quickly. I think we all have known that and seen that over the past couple years. The real estate market is never stagnant. One of the big things about ChatGPT version 3 that we're currently on is they're only allowing to use data up to 2021. So they're a year and a half, 2 years behind, and the market has changed a lot. So thinking back about a year and a half ago, it's saying that the average is around $1,700 per month, and it's saying that it used Zillow. So in general, that is not way off. I know, and I have rentals right in this zip code. It's probably a little bit light, but then again, it is taking into effect a couple years ago. So that is something to be very, very cognizant of when you're using ChatGPT. Is the general systems and processes and the types of information it's going to give you are probably awesome. However, you have to keep in mind that this is a year and a half old data. Ooh, this one's taking a second, gents. The average rental insurance. Might not know this one. Oh, the cost of rental insurance for a 3-bedroom, it's spitting it out now in 6334 can vary. Okay, depending on several factors, it's gonna do the depends, the diaper theory, depends. Personal belongings on the policy, so yeah, it's definitely getting into all that. So an estimation according to national average. So it's gonna go the national average. If it doesn't know the exact data, it's gonna go the national average. So $20 to $30 per month. That's actually not super far off. I'm kind of surprised. I thought it'd say way more than that because it's more for personal home insurance. So it's saying to consult local insurance providers. So it's giving really good information, not surprisingly, but I would probably say that's a little bit light, but not a ton. Our average single family rental insurance per month is probably more like that $30 to $40 a month. So it's not way off. I kind of expected it to say a couple $100 a month, but it didn't do that. So I don't think it's super far off here, but again, for a long time, if not always, you can't just use this one source. You have to do a little bit more research and honestly just get quotes from local insurance brokers to see what it'll actually be. But this can at least maybe give you something to plug in your initial numbers on your initial underwrite. Ooh, it's going quickly on this one. Obviously it sets its parameters. So it's pulling Census Bureau data, which is cool. So it's taking the U.S. Census Bureau. It's on Zillow, and now it's doing Census Bureau stuff from 2020 again. This is a little bit dated data. That's part of what they're doing. I don't think they want to scare people with current data right now. But they say 2.2%, so that makes sense. 63304 is a zip code that is full of owner-occupant houses. There are very few rental properties in 63304. If I were to pick a different zip code, actually I will pick a different zip code right now to see if it's a little bit higher, and I bet it will be. But it's saying 2.2%, so we're talking 98% occupancy in 63304, and I believe that. So let's type in a different zip code. All right, so let's see if it's a little bit higher. Again, the whole thing. 7.6%. So there you go. So 63114 is a zip code. That's a nice zip code. I probably own 30 rental properties in that zip code. So I love that zip code. However, it is a little bit more of a rental type zip code where there's probably maybe half rentals and half owner occupants. So there's a lot more rentals to choose from, and it's just not A-class area. It's probably a B minus area. So again, pretty impressed with that data. It's just kind of pulling it from wherever it makes sense, and the Census Bureau data makes sense for this one. A lot of really good data, and I could probably sit here and type in 100 questions and try to learn a little bit more about that 63304 market. So the second thing I want to look into with ChatGPT is I want to see how it can help you manage your properties properly. Now, a lot of people, especially when they get started, manage their properties on their own. So we're going to utilize ChatGPT now to help you kind of look more professional, help you write emails, and help you communicate with your tenants a little bit more effectively. They're not going to write legal documents for you, even though they probably could, but you can start to ask them questions. So let's start this out kind of talking about some tenant type questions and communication, and then let's see how far we can push the envelope. All right, so I asked it to write me a 30-day notice to vacate letter. So as you can see, dear tenant name, where you put that in there, we regret to inform you that you need to terminate your tenancy at the property address effective in 30 days from the date of this notice. This means you must vacate the rental property on or before. So it's being very transparent and very to the point, there's no beating around the bush. You have to be out on this date. It says that several times. So I love that. And then it's giving a reason why. So it's helping you kind of cover your ass a little bit and just not be like you have to be gone in 30 days on a sticky note. That's not professional. You don't want to look like that or be like that, and the legalities of that are probably sketchy. But you're giving them their 30-day notice, and you're telling them they have to be on and out on a certain date, and you're even given the reason for the termination. So the decision has been made due to, and it leaves you a bracket to type in the reason that you are giving them a 30-day notice. And it's saying you've tried to attempt it. It's assuming, ChatGPT is assuming that you've tried to resolve the issue, which you probably should anyway. So it's just kind of buttoning it up. So if you send this notice to your tenant, you're gonna look professional. You're probably going to help avoid any legal issues. And you're also just gonna be able to communicate it properly, as opposed to just figuring it out on your own, texting them, calling them, sending them a mad email, or just trying to, type a professional email on your own. Not everybody's great at writing emails, especially with technology like this. People are going to get worse at writing emails. So utilize this technology. I love this one. This is a great one. So I just asked Chat, we're going to call it Chat for short, how to communicate a rent increase to my tenants, because you need to be increasing your rent every single year without question. Even if it's 10, 15, 20 bucks, just a little bit of rent increase goes a long way, because your insurance goes up, your real estate taxes go up, your hard costs go up. So if you do not do this, you will cash flow less every single month. If you increase the rent with your increased expenses, your cash flow will go up over time. If you don't, eventually you will cash flow negative. Let's see what it says. So it's just giving you some examples, and it's trying to be professional, and it's saying, just giving you some, to-dos basically. Make sure to provide ample notice. You can't tell them that on the 31st of the month that the rent's going up the first of the next month. I guess you can, but that's not professional and probably won't get the job done. Explain the reasons why. Be transparent and honest, and say that your costs are increasing. Love that. Third is be respectful. I always say be respectful. Be a landlord, not a slumlord. Have pride in ownership, and this is part of having pride in ownership is having pride in property management. Offer to negotiate. I don't know that I love that one, but that's not horrible. If you're wanting a 25 rent increase, maybe you do throw 40 out there, and if they're okay with it, great. If not, you can negotiate. I have had tenants do that in the past, and then put it in writing. So it is just basically giving you a little bit more professional of an approach than just saying, hey, your rent went up. Love it. Now I'm going to tell it to write the notice for me. Here's an example of a rent increase template. There you go. Does it the whole thing for you, as you can read on the screen here. But dear tenant's name, I hope this letter finds you well. Being professional, talk about the rent increase, and it's giving you kind of the brackets to plug in your own information, because every situation is different, and I guess the general rent increase reasons are pretty similar, but it's just giving you the meat and potatoes of it and allowing you to put the spices and the filling in there to make it personal for your specific situation. So I love that. Now, let's try to test it a little bit. So it won't write a lease for me, but I asked what should be in the lease, and now it's giving me some general terms and a little bit of direction to what goes in the lease. Now you get this written up yourself. You can look for one on, Google. You can talk to other property management companies, or you can take my mentorship and get my lease that I use every single day for all my tenants. But this is, again, giving you more information. It's all about the questions you ask. There's basically unlimited data that ChatGPT can do for you. It's just about asking the right questions. The third thing I want to get into here is I want to talk about how ChatGPT can help you with marketing and communicating with sellers and just doing the marketing things and writing blogs and things like that not everybody's good at. Not everybody has a marketing brain or the time or the energy or the ability to sit down and create logos and create emails and create posts and things like that. So let's dig in a little bit and I'm gonna give you some direction that I would use if I were in your shoes. All right, so I asked it to write me basically just a cold letter that you would send if you're driving for dollars, or if you just see a house or hear of a house that is distressed and you want to send a letter to the seller to get them to contact you so you can buy the house, and you don't know how to write a letter like that. Let's see what it says on here. So yeah, it's a decent letter. There's probably a few things I would change in there, but in general, it's just giving you, again, the foundation, at least a little bit of direction to take, or you just copy and paste this letter and try different ones. You can even take a letter like this and say, can you make it shorter? Like, you don't have to take everything they say verbatim. You can ask it to change it. So I'm asking to make it shorter here. I mean, you can even ask it to make it, specific to what the distressed house is. You can just get specific and ask it specific things, but as you can see, it made it shorter on here. You're wanting to start a company that buys houses and you're looking for a name. Let's ask it for a name. So they're coming up with Gateway Property Solutions, Archway Acquisitions, SL Home Rescue, River City Realty Revival. Like, these are things that, like, I guess it's AI, but how would it know that, like, we're called the River City? Because, the Missouri-Mississippi River meet here, and the Show Me Home Investments, the Show Me State. Red Brick Company, there's some red brick roads in downtown St. Louis and St. Charles. So Cardinal House Buyers, St. Louis Cardinals. This is my favorite one by far. That's pretty clever. As you can see, ChatGPT is only limited by the questions that your mind can think of and ask. So ask as many questions as you want. In fact, ChatGPT made this outline. The entire thing, we typed it in and it made this entire outline for us. That goes to show you, you can use it for pretty much any aspect of life if you want somebody else's brain or computer helping you out. See you on the next one.